I really like good stories, and I really like true stories. And as a hunter, I love hearing stories that put me in the moment.
80, 90 yards out.
That take me to a cool place, show the hardship, the dedication, the sacrifice that went into the hunt. I now find myself in a unique position to try to tell some of these stories myself, both through the lens of a camera and now in front of the camera. I enjoy attempting to tell these stories, and I'll be honest, I'm still new at it.
Jeez, apparently we've been hunting the wrong spots. Should've just been road hunting the whole time. Been doing it all wrong.
But here's a story of a November archery elk hunt in Arizona. In recent years, my favorite adventures have been those with my wife, Kara.
Show us your talent.
Show us your talent.
It's
It's a grouse. It's a grouse. It's, if you couldn't tell, which you could, but if you couldn't, it's a grouse.
She finds the positive side of everything. As long as she has food and stays fed, she will hike all day, carry heavy packs, and do it with a smile the entire time.
This is the type of stuff that I actually really like.
Kara agreed to be the camera woman on this hunt. She wanted to see a new landscape, so we road tripped through the desert to search for some canyon-dwelling elk. We even got to experience an extremely short and very efficient visit to the Grand Canyon on the way down. I highly recommend the November visit to the North Rim when Google Maps claims that the road is closed. We saw like 10 people total. What do you think of Arizona?
I don't understand this place. It's like tiny and not elk habitat, and there's elk everywhere.
Or maybe this is better elk habitat than what you're used to.
It's not what I'm used to, that's the thing. It's very, very different. We're in a desert and there's cactus everywhere.
Yeah,
And there's elk everywhere.
pretty sweet.
Just laying down in cactus. It doesn't make sense.
And how is it?
It tastes like foreshadowing. We were gonna get another one.
Nice. That was a good answer.
Yeah, that's some positive thoughts out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's super pretty, oh my god. So pretty.
The big appeal to this particular permit was getting to hunt Arizona. Getting a bull elk permit in the state often takes years of applying, building points, or getting extremely lucky. We've seen 4 bulls today, and this is the only one that's been super cooperative, just staying out in the open. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna go bed into the timber to the left of him. And hopefully he can make a play.
But there are permits and certain seasons that can be obtained on a more frequent basis. This is because those areas are more difficult to hunt, either the terrain is difficult to navigate, there are less elk, or it's during a time of the year where elk are harder to locate and kill.
What you doing?
Seeing how pokey they are.
In the case of this hunt, it's all three. The terrain is tough, there aren't a lot of elk, and it's November, when they're no longer bugling and the bulls are isolated in steep, thick terrain. Myself, being relatively young and dumb, I'm all about going on a hunt like this where I can get a permit after only a few years of applying versus having to wait 10 to 20 years to draw a better tag.
This is bad. The thing with Arizona is when it's thick, everything grabs you and hurts. Yeah, anyway, I don't even know how to get across this drainage without bleeding to death. What do you think of the desert?
I don't think this is a desert.
Or whatever we're in.
I think it wants to kill us.
Yes, that is true.
At least wants us to bleed. Slow death by pinpricks.
Yeah.
I think hunts like this tend to lead to more adventure, more hardship, and creates a huge challenge, which intrigues me. I knew going into this hunt that I would undoubtedly come out with some great stories and some great memories. Kara is the perfect partner for a trip like this because she happily bailed into the deepest, nastiest, cat claw-filled canyon to find and pursue a bull. After miles of painful navigation through a landscape that feels like it's constantly trying to kill you, we ended up spooking that bull and never even got a glimpse of him up close.
It's running that way.
While it hurt, both physically and mentally, I still felt pretty fulfilled after that day. It was a reality check to show us just how difficult this hunt was going to be, the nastiness of the terrain, how loud the rocks were, and how few and far between these bulls were. Hiking out with miles to go, watching the ridiculously amazing sunset, it was one of those moments that just stick with me.
It's so beautiful out. This is so cool.
I have recurring moments like this. It's usually during an extremely difficult activity where I'm in pain, I'm physically exhausted, but I'm surrounded by an incredible landscape and there are no signs of other human life in sight. We had miles to go in the dark to get back to the road, and I don't know what it is, but I just love it. When my body is a complete wreck, but I'm so happy, knowing that I'm only gonna get a little bit of sleep and wake up and do it all over again. On trips like this, my memories begin to blur together. I know we must have hiked in a ways to get there, but my next memory is looking through the spotting scope at another bull, trying to visualize how I'm going to get within archery range of him.
Can't believe that we got here in time.
Oh yeah, we could have so easily missed him. And we probably missed other ones, you know, similarly.
It took us almost 2 hours to get up here.
That's insane, really.
Yeah, over an hour and a half. It was close to 2 hours since we left.
A few beds right there. That would be nice. Because there's rocks right above him. That would make stalking much quieter.
As we began our second stalk of the trip, I realized that pushing our bodies to the limit was going to be the norm for this hunt. Just to get into position to stalk the bull took us the majority of the day. We had to navigate steep canyons and pick our way through cliffs, catclaw, and thick brush the entire way.
Just seems like a place a bull would bed.
Listening to the brush break and the rocks roll after spooking that bull was disheartening. Just 5 miles to go through the canyons of Catclaw back to camp. But that evening, walking back through the canyons where you can see thousands of years worth of monsoons that carved through the rock to form these pools, was another one of those moments. Very few people have had the luxury to see the spot, and I can't help but realize how lucky we are.
Kara's hardcore. She put in instant coffee in her already double shot espresso drink.
It's just adding a little booster shot. You gotta get an extra little jolt in you.
Just heard an elk bugle. I've only heard a handful of bugles in November. It's pretty cool. Should have brought my bugle too. Not really, I don't think it worked. That's sweet.
I have long been a consumer of hunting media through magazines, television, social media, books, you name it. But the more I consumed, the more I realized how I was being deceived. Reading magazine stories about big bucks or big bulls, watching videos where the people were constantly surrounded by animals, I realized a lot of the story was being left out. When a hunter is successful, I find myself wanting to know the story, the full story. What series of events occurred to bring that hunter to that animal? As a hunter, I find pictures of large, mature animals intriguing because it often means that the hunter who killed it is skilled, that they spent the time, they spent the energy to find that animal that has survived years, escaping the elements, disease, predators, and other hunters. It's not simply the big rack that makes that animal impressive. It's what that animal went through, and what the hunter went through to kill it, that makes it impressive to me. Maybe for some people, it's simply the big rack that makes it impressive. But I guess I just don't fully understand that perspective.
There's a raghorn. We just saw it walk around the corner, down out of it, into the drainage. I was gonna keep getting closer and see, it's so loud. But we just kind of move slow and maybe something will walk by us, I don't know. Our wind is going directly to him. I'm not sure what's going on. Right. Hey, stand up. Hey. We got that close. We were making so much noise. And then, I don't know why I'm whispering. I was literally like yelling at the bull to get him to stand up. And he would never stand up. He finally stood up on his own accord. I wasn't even doing anything, but he just like, when he stood up, he was facing straight away. I had no shot. It's 37 yards. That was so crazy. That was super cool. If he would have stood up broadside, I had him. I had a gap. I'm like, I thought really hard about it because I'm like, okay, this limb is at like 35 yards. He's at 37. I just need to clear right under that limb. And like, as long as I'm under that limb, wherever he stood up and his vitals would have been, it was perfect. But
Over the years, reading and watching hunting media, I realized a lot of the hunts were on private ranches, or the hunter was being guided by someone who had done a lot of the prep work and found the animals in advance. I think hunting private ranches and going on guided hunts is awesome, but in a lot of cases, that part of the story is not told. There are some amazing stories that I've seen about how private land is managed to create amazing wildlife habitat, or they tell the story of the outfitter or the guide and the work that they did that went into finding that animal for the client. I've noticed on numerous occasions when a hunter conveniently leaves out the fact that they had exclusive access on a parcel of private land, or that they were being guided by an outfitter who took years to learn that area, and the hunter simply posts a picture of a big bull with no context. It has unfortunately turned me into a bit of a cynic within the world of hunting media. Often, looking at a picture of some big bull, I can't help but think, what was the story of that bull? Was it killed on a big private ranch? Did they have 20 guides watching it, waiting for the client to just show up and pull the trigger? But when given the choice, people almost always like to portray themselves better than they are. I struggle with this myself. On this hunt, I received extremely helpful information from 5 different people about where to look for elk. I could have easily left that part out of the story and not told you that I had any help. I also had moments of extreme negativity. But I don't want to show myself being a little whiner. I want to show the moments where I was positive and having a good time. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but I guess it's my message to you and to myself that I want to do better. I want to give context to my stories, but also recognize that I will never be perfect and there's always going to be some bias.
Good morning. Another early start. About to start hiking. Fun side hill. And then we're going to go find a bunch of bulls. I hope. They were there last night. But, yeah. Just kind of rinse and repeat. We're going to go try to bed one of those bulls, whichever one looks like it's in the most stalkable position. We'll loop around, drop in on it, and hopefully get a shot. It is tough going, but it's fun. Yesterday was the coolest day ever. That was so fun. That was incredible. So, hopefully we get another chance like that and it stands up broadside this time. That'd be awesome.
After a day of rather slow elk hunting and too much time to philosophize, we found ourselves glassing into a bull nest. We could see a number of elk across a few ridges. With a new sense of optimism, we set out to give it another shot. I always have a different feeling as the hunt draws to an end. I get nervous, I get excited. I just need to calm down. But I also get into kill mode. I very much want to come out successful and plan on putting in the maximum amount of effort to make it happen. We had one last shot to make it happen, and I wanted to make this last stalk perfect. Kara quickly glassed up a couple of bulls. It seemed too good to be true when I pulled up the spotter, and one of the bulls was the same one that we stalked the first day, miles from where we had spooked him. What a story, I was thinking in my head, to find the same bull, the biggest bull of the trip nonetheless, and to have a chance at him on the last day. Then we watched him bed in a perfect stalking location. Oh man, how could I get so lucky?
Are you ready?
Kara's vlogging.
No. Are you ready?
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And then we're gonna go.
Let's make this one count the most.
Yeah, we're gonna kill this bull.
All the other days were practice for preparation for today, and today
Today's the day.
is the day that you're gonna get it done.
Yes.
You ready?
I'm nervous. But yeah, I'm ready.
Clean shots only.
Clean shots only.
Let's do it.
Hey, but that's the way it goes. Not every story can end with a big bull laying on the ground, and I'm okay with that.
You're funny.
I mean, 100% it would have been a lot cooler if I arrowed that bull at 15 yards in his bed and we were ending the story of Kara and I eating tenderloins over the fire. But hey, we're working with what we got.
High class dinner tonight.
We had a great time, we enjoyed a beautiful landscape, and spent quality time together.